Breaking tonight, Senator Rand Paul still holding court on the Senate floor, where he has been standing since 1:18 p.m. today. Mr. Paul staging a sort of filibuster against the NSA's surveillance programs, which he says violate our civil liberties. Others say they protect our safety. Chris Steyerwalt is our Fox News digital politics editor. So what exactly is the point of this? Because the vote is not coming up, and it's not really an official filibuster.
Well, he's trying to break the Senate calendar. If he can stay going, if he and some people who are volunteering to come in and help him so he can take a break, if he can stay going long enough, he'll blow up the calendar and they'll have to start shuffling votes around, which will give him another procedural opportunity to attack this legislation. So if he can hold out and I don't know if he's going to make it to the 1st of June, but if he can make it into tomorrow, if he can make it into midday tomorrow, he can break the calendar and they can have another opportunity to start again.
Look, the House has basically done what he wants, not quite what he wants. But the House has taken out a lot of the NSA's firepower. And the Senate, Mitch McConnell has said, that will endanger the people. I don't like that.
And is much closer to what the president wants and what Democrats want. But look, these issues for libertarian-minded Republicans and a lot of Republicans, they want more checks. They want more Fourth Amendment juice in there.
Are they going to get them?
They may get some concessions. He may push his way through to get something that's a little more palatable for those kind of conservative Republicans.
And it doesn't hurt his presidential chances to be dominating the Senate floor for quite some time. But so speaking of the presidential race, Fox News has some breaking news that is very important to this contest. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, well, we're getting ready to go into the main event on the 6th of August in Cleveland, Ohio. Somebody, maybe you and Brett Baer, Chris Wallace will be there grilling and chilling with the 10 best ranked, according to an average of polls that meet our criteria, our standards of excellence. Those polls at that time will be on stage, face your questions, and deal with each other and try to sort out what is a very crowded, very evenly matched Republican field.
It's going to be top 10. So these Republicans have a couple of months to get themselves into the top 10, and the top 10 will face off with the three of us, supported by a very smart team, including that guy right there. Thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Well, the outrage over the fall of Ramadi continues among members of our military and families of veterans as the administration gets hammered on whether we need a new strategy for this fight against ISIS. Watch here, Press Secretary Josh Earnest.
Is the president feeling any pressure to reevaluate or rethink his strategy there with regard to ISIL?
As with any military effort, there will be days of progress and there are going to be periods of setback. The ISIL effort to take over Ramadi is a setback. But I think this illustrates how important it is for us to maintain some perspective on this.
Is the president frustrated with what's happened in Ramadi?
Jim, what I can say is that the president is mindful that this is not a short-term proposition.
Would you say that overall this strategy has been a success?
Well, John, yeah, I mean, overall, yes. That doesn't mean that there haven't been areas of setback, as we saw in Ramadi. I guess the thing is we have to sort of decide what our approach to these issues is going to be. Are we going to light our hair on fire every time that there is a setback in the campaign against ISIL? Or are we going to take very seriously our responsibility to evaluate those areas where we succeed and evaluate where steps are necessary for us to change our strategy where we've sustained setbacks?
Well, Dana Perino had that very same job during the Bush administration. She's now co-host of The Five and author of the New York Times bestseller, And the Good News Is. Right now, it's number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list. It was number 1. It's been all over.
1, 3, now we moved
It's
up
a winner.
to 2.
That's the bottom line. Josh Earnest, on the other hand, might be placed in the loser category for just this week, with all due respect, Josh, because that was a little tone deaf.
I think so for several reasons. One, he's dealing with a bad set of facts, and the bad set of facts were handed to him by the President of the United States and the National Security Council and the Department of Defense. I think that what I would have done that day is say, you know what, Susan Rice, that sounds like a great day for you to come up and try to brief the White House press corps on why this is working. You please be my guest and come and tell them, especially because you have so many audiences that you're talking to at the same time, one of them being imagine a mother of a fallen soldier from Ramadi in 2006 or 2007. And she has to sit and he's saying, let's not light our hair on fire. And the press is just asking very good questions. The other reason I would be angry if I were Josh Earnest, and had asked for better information from the National Security Council. That just 4 hours after he gave that briefing, the Wall Street Journal ran with a story that said, behind the scenes, off the record, the White House is rethinking its strategy in Iraq. Now, that's something that he could have gone to the podium with yesterday to show some sort of a pivot.
You know what, though? We got to look at the new strategy, and here it is. They intend to accelerate the training and equipping of local tribes. They intend to expand recruitment into the Iraqi army, and they intend to develop a plan to retake Ramadi. That's not that easy to sell.
They've got 20 months left to try to hand over to the next president of the United States whatever sort of Iraq or Middle East situation that they intend to hand over. It is a little late to be thinking about, what might we think we might want to do going forward, because that's exactly what they said they were going to do last September when ISIS was starting to grow. Now we find out that it's taken another ancient city in Syria. It is growing. And I think that the White House in particular is under this cloud of denial that is being met with the fact that you had 25,000 people fleeing. In addition, we have reports that there were Iraqis, these Sunnis, these tribesmen that we say now we are going to help and we're going to equip, they were begging, screaming for our help, and we didn't help them.
That's right. The reports are that they were promised reinforcements that never materialized.
And these are our best allies in the region. They hate ISIS, they hate al-Qaeda, they hate Iran. These are the exact people we should have been helping.
Somehow, however, we provided them with enough equipment that they left all behind for ISIS, including American equipment, dozens of vehicles, half-dozen tanks, armored personnel carriers, and a small handful of artillery pieces. Now our Pentagon is saying, we wish they had destroyed that before they cut and ran. I mean, what are we doing over there?
The other thing is that the White House is talking today about changing their military strategy when something is totally absent, and that is a political strategy in order to help the Iraqis be better leaders. At this point, with Bret Stephens yesterday in the Wall Street Journal suggesting, is it too late for us to actually turn things around? I hope that that isn't true. But President Obama wanted Abadi, the new prime minister in Iraq. He wanted him in there. He really ought to step up and try to help him. And also, I ask, where is the United Nations? Every day during the Bush administration, they blamed President Bush for anything bad happening anywhere in the world. Now it's like they're out having cocktails talking about climate change, while basically the world is on fire in the Middle East, including women and children who are being forced into slavery and being raped repeatedly. And this is not just in the Middle East. This is actually spreading through Nigeria and other places. So, as you can tell, I'm a little exercised about it because I'm frankly embarrassed and ashamed that we didn't help them.
And it's not like we didn't see it coming. And they actually had the nerve today to downplay it by saying, well, ISIS had already taken 1/3 of Ramadi, so it's really they just claimed the second 2/3.
Well, and frankly, we know what it's like and what happens when a White House denies for too long that there's a problem in Iraq. Then you have to do a surge. We did that, but it was only after it had been bad for a long time. The White House is at that bad part right now.
And the gains were reclaimed and then given
Lost.
away. Dana, great to see you.
Thank you.
Up next, Donald Trump on his plans for a possible White House run. I will only be surprised if you say you are running.
Really? Okay. Well, that's good.
Will I be surprised?
I hope you're going to be there.